Let me greet you in Nigeria language and Nigeria stuff. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. Emmanuel Akpe, the professor of copywriting. It's good to have you here, sir.
Good to see you, bro. Good to have you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for showing. God bless you. It's good to have you as the first person in this DIC Africa podcast. So the DIC simply means Deep Insight Conversation. I know what you'll be sharing here will be deep, and as it's going to be deep, people will understand it because there's some things people don't know. Like this topic we'll be coming to teach here, cracking the codes of words. This prayer point, many people have been praying for it in churches. That God just give me that idea, give me that code. I want to be able to crack the code of words. And some people are not,
Mm.
some people are living that life. The prayer point you'll be praying. Someone is living the life, already knows it. Like you say, you know your onions, you're already living that lifestyle. So why should we be praying where you already know people that know it? That's why I should bring people like you know,
Mm.
I've already cracked the code, that have done it again and again. Because Apostle
Mm.
Jesus said, if it has been done over and over again, that means the system has been set in place. But if it happens once, then it's a miracle. So that system has been set in place is what we are here to dissect. So people get to understand this thing. So I will not be doing prayer again for 70 days, fasting overnight.
Mm.
So thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir, for coming.
You're
This
welcome.
is Deep Inside Conversation. So before we start, I would like you to just say maybe 3 or 2 things about you. I've already announced it to my groups. They already know you, but because of it is YouTube, we have over 1 billion downloads because the algorithm, anybody can come across this video. So I'd like you to say maybe 2 or 3 things about you. Who is Sir Emmanuel Akpe?
Okay, so just your normal friend, you know, from Benue State, a copywriter, a Nigerian. I've been in the copywriting space for a bit of 6 years now. I love to call myself, you know, someone who has been sent to bring financial salvation, right, to the world. I love it when people are financially saved. I love it when people are financially intelligent. I love it when people are financially confident, which is a few of the things we're going to talk about even today: financial confidence, financial intelligence, financial salvation. These are things that um, I love talking about. And then the vehicle that I talk about most times is the vehicle of copywriting, which is sales or sales or marketing. So I've trained over 20,000 students with a Bachelor of Copywriting course. I'm also a consultant, sales consultant for businesses, sales trainer. Then, you know, I live and stay in Port Harcourt, and I love traveling. Actually, I just actually love traveling, seeing new places and all. So that's just me.
Wow, that's good. You said you've trained over 20 something thousand students. And I'm here to testify that one of your students, I
Yeah,
graduated from your College of Copywriting. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you. You're really teaching well. Like, you said you love teaching financial breakthrough. God, this thing are what people are praying for. So I've learned everything. I've mastered copywriting and I am doing well. I've connected with other copywriters too. So I will not doubt that this is not what to do. This is what to do. That was why I said, I'm going to bring my trainer here. It's going to be here. So people will get this financial intelligence that they'll be free and financial confidence. That confidence matters. That I say no, my guy will be here. So it's good to have you, sir. So first of all, um, this is what we want to break because for you to be able to open any phone, there's code or pattern or password you have to input before that phone will be able to open. That's how wet is. Some people don't know the code. So if you don't know the code of a phone, you won't be able to open it. You must know this code before you're able to open it. So that I say, sir, come help us and crack this code. Because now the reason why I say cracking the codes of words, because there are some phone people will get, they won't be able to open it. So this one I should be universal. There are some things hackers will do. They'll be able to hack any phone, go into it, and use it like it is their own. Because what is our own inherited from God, and people have already cracked this code. People like you, that's it. Come and give us this code, so we're to go into this thing and live that life, financial confidence. So
Yeah, sure.
number one, and I said money 101, and I think you've written a book on money 101. I've also read that
Yeah.
book. So first of all, what is money 101?
So in school, we have um, different, course codes. When you're in the university, you have different course codes. You have just the 101, or just the 111. At some schools would always so it's always the basics, right? The basics of any topic. So when we say money 101, we're always talking about the basic things, the foundational things that should be in place. Anybody who wants to build a house knows that the foundation is very, we just don't carry blocks and then, put on the soil, right? It won't stand. So there's a foundation, building that foundation. And then if you want to build a two-story building, the depth of the foundation is different. If you want to build a skyscraper, the foundation is different, right? So the height of your wealth, right, is directly proportional to the depth of your foundation, right? The height of your wealth is directly proportional to the depth of your foundation. So if you want to enjoy massive levels of wealth, you know, five-story building, 10-story building, 20-story building, it's determined by the foundation of wealth. So we'll talk about on the one we're talking about the foundation of wealth. And basically, let me just say the foundation of wealth is the mind, right? The foundation of wealth is the mind. Just like you don't get to see the foundation, but it holds the structure. So you get to see the structure and you're happy about the structure. But most times you don't get to see what has gone into the foundation. I remember one time we were very young, and then they were building one of our churches back then. Then they made a very big foundation. And then I remember we would carry, sand, and we'll carry, mixed cement and all. We're just going to church to help out. And then they'll keep on pouring this into the foundation, into the foundation, into the foundation. Even when that was like far back 10 years ago, I know they spent close to 5 million or 10 million on just the foundation, just pouring blocks and cement, lots of cement, lots of gravel, lots of things went into that foundation, but nobody sees that foundation, right? Nobody sees the foundation. Nobody admires the foundation, but people admire the giant building, right? So most persons, they don't pay the price for the foundation, which is the mind, the things they don't see. So for me personally, it was when I was 16 years old. I've always, I live with my mom in Abuja with my sister. We live in one room, face my slap you, right? And then we're very poor, right? Just a little bit we could feed, yeah. So we're grateful for that. But the livelihood and the living was not really there. You get, and then I got a book, Secrets of the Billionaire Mind, and it transformed my life. I was 16 years old. I went to my mom and I told my mom, I asked my mom, why are we poor? Why is it that we are poor? Right. So this that for me was the foundation for me. I read the book. I still have the book on my table. It's a book I read almost every month. At the beginning of the month, like this, I just go through the web files from 1 to 17 to just keep my head. There are books I have on my table. Um, the richest man in Babylon. I can see my bookshelf just facing me. I am a man of books. I love books. There are books around me. There are books on my table here. There's on the parlor. There are books on my bookshelf. There are books everywhere. There are books in my room, so that I can always pick up the book and start reading at any point in time. That is the foundation, the mind, the mind, the mind. The mind is the foundation. The mind is the root, right? The results you see are fruits. Your mind is the root. The results you see are the fruits. Now, if you don't like your result, you go back to the mind, right? If you don't like your results, you go back to the mind. And then because most of us were not raised by billionaires or multi-millionaires or millionaires in dollars, right? A lot of us have carried wrong mindset, wrong perceptions about money. You know, people in our primary school, teachers that taught us in primary school, they were poor. Or most of them were secondary school, were poor. University were poor. So these guys took this knowledge of money that was wrong and passed it to us. You know, they passed this wrong money of this wrong knowledge of money. So nobody taught us about passive income. Nobody taught us about high income skills. Nobody taught us how to save money. Nobody taught us how to invest money properly. Nobody taught us, the things, the core things that actually bring about money, economics, right? How to trade, buying and selling, how to sell. All of these things we never learned it, but these things are the foundations of wealth, right? So whenever we talk about money, whenever we talk about wealth, we're always talking about the mind. Like it starts from your mind. How you grow your mind, how you develop your mind is very important.
Wow. I had wanted to ask, how do we start to go to the root? Because the root is the foundation. So how do we start to dig and build that mind, that foundation? How do we start? How do we get started to build that
Yeah, so it
foundation?
starts with the desire to learn. It starts with the desire to learn. You must have first a desire, you know, to leave the place you are, right? To leave that zone of lack and want. It starts with a desire. Now, most persons don't have, strong desires to live out of, poverty or lack or want. But this desire must translate into growth. This desire would translate into growth. So desire is the fuel, but growth is where it all starts, right? A mental reprogramming. You need to reprogram your mind, right? And this is done by books, by trainings, by videos, consciously rewiring your mind. Your mind is a big, catalog of information. It has different, sets of things it already has. Most times, people don't know that the mind is almost automatic. It already has a
Mm.
set of things it believes, right? So you need to challenge those things. Can you hear me? Am I loud and clear? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir. I can hear you. You're clear. You're clear. I can hear you.
Okay. So you need to challenge those already, you know, those wrong mentalities. And you start with books. I recommend books every time. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Millionaire Fast Lane, Richest Man in Babylon, Psychology of Money, books that talk about money. And you could find people who talk about money. Go on YouTube, get videos, maybe people like Dan Lok, Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, get people that talk about money, that have this understanding of money. Take trainings. If you hear there's a training going on around money, take it. Most people don't study money. That's the problem. Most people go to school, they study
Mm.
there, study 4 years of their course. They read microbiology 4 years. You became a doctor 6 years. You did law 5 years. But then when it comes to money, people don't study money, right? And then you see it showing in their life, right? Whatever you don't study, you can't have results in. It's like not studying for exam. You just go to the
Mm.
exam hall.
Mm.
You
Mm.
can't pass. It's the same thing. Just that the test life will give you is either in abundance or in lack and want. So if you pass, you see abundance. If you fail, you see poverty, lack, and want. Right? There is no
Mm,
marking scheme. There is no submit and come back later. It's your result to be shown in your life, directly or indirectly. You get so that is what happens when you want to start this. When you start when you want to start, you must be program your mind with rich thoughts, right? Rich thoughts. Your program, your thought pattern has to change, and you do that with books, you do that with trainings, you do that with videos, you do that with anything that will be pro workshops, everything that will be programmed your mind.
mm. Wow. Some people say, I'll go to school. When it comes to money, I'll be praying to God. That is what God will give me. And some people will saying money is evil. Money is evil. If I have money now, I'm not able to serve God well. This, that. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, it's all wrong mindset. They're all mentalities, right? I've seen people who are rich in Christ and rich in cash. You get that's one thing. That's one thing I always talk about. Being rich in Christ and being rich in cash. I've seen lots of persons, thousands of persons who are rich in Christ and rich in cash. So money doesn't, limit you from serving God. So there are just excuses people make towards, sorry, please, just a minute.
Hmm,
There are just excuses people make, around the area of money, and it's there. Those excuses would always show. They will show in the results.
hmm. Wow. Wow. Okay. Now, when it comes to cracking this code, what are the codes to cracking? What are the codes of words? How do we crack this code of words? Because people have been doing it. Even me, I was like that. I'll be praying, God, I want to crack this code of words. Just give me this idea. I want to crack this code of words. That'll make me break through. So many have been doing the same prayer on how to crack the code of words. So how do we get started? So give us the codes.
Okay, so I can actually take this from two angles, but let me just use this. Let me use let me use the S. They're like different S, so that it's easy for people who are coming to just understand, right? Those are things that have worked for me. Those are things that have have you know that I've worked over and over and over again. So they're just different S. I'll just say a few words on each of them, right? And then you just get light from that. So the first thing I want people to understand, once you work on your mindset, you believe your mindset is already in place. We believe that your habits are already in place. The first thing you want to look at is your strengths, right? Your strengths. You want to find out what you are good at. Everybody has a talent, right? Everybody has a talent. Nobody was sent here empty. You were born into the world naked, but you were not born empty, right? You came into this world naked. That doesn't mean you came in empty. So everybody has a strength, right? So some persons are speaking, some persons know how to speak, some persons know how to write, some persons, everybody has a talent, right? Everybody. So the first thing you want to do is you want to you want to find out your strengths. Very important. Number two is you want to study. And when we talk about study, we're talking about study of money, and then growth, like studying the skills that relates to your strengths, right? Study. So study, but study has to do with studying, the skills that relate to your strength. So, okay, let's say find a strength, find a skill. So that skill also comes as number two. Find a strength, find a skill that aligns with your strengths. So for me, it's copywriting. I started with. Somebody else can start with maybe graphic design. Somebody else can start with maybe web development and the rest. But you need a skill, right? You need a skill in life. You need a skill, maybe video. Uh, Even when we go to school, to study like maybe medicine, engineering, and the rest. In another way, what you're doing is you're actually picking a skill. Right? You went to school to pick a skill so that you can offer that skill in exchange for cash, maybe as paid employment or as project and the rest. Right? So there are other skills you can do, maybe online skills or digital skills you can actually do. You know, and then also find a skill that aligns with your strength, then study money, study that skill, become very good at it, become a master in that skill. You know, get so good, get so good at that skill, get so good at that skill, right? Um, there are four levels of mastery. I will not be able to talk so much about it, but there's a part where you become, you know, unconscious incompetence. That's the point where you don't know that you don't know, right? You're unconsciously incompetent. There's a part where you become consciously incompetent. Conscious incompetence, you now know that you don't know. Then there's a part that is called conscious competence. You are good, you know that you know. But there's a final part that is called the unconscious competence. So you don't need to do much, but you get good results, right? These are the levels of mastery. These are the levels of competence. So you get to the point where you are very good at what you do. So number one is your strength. Understand your strength. Number two is your skill. Number three is study. Number four is share your knowledge. Right? Share your knowledge to the world. Their platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, all of that. Right? Share your knowledge. Maybe it could be in a book or something, but share your knowledge. Grow your audience. When you share knowledge, you're growing your audience. Because the truth is, money is in the hands of people, right? Money is in the hands of people. So you want to drum as many people as possible to you, right? So share your knowledge, share on platforms, share as video, share as text, you know, push your content out there, push your content out there. Number five is sell, right? Sell. You make money when you sell. Selling is basically an exchange of value, right? An exchange of value. So you have a skill to offer or you have products to sell. Whatever one you do, you must learn how to sell. And, you know, when you sell, money comes in. When you buy, money leaves you. So you need to do things that makes money come in more. So learn how to sell. Learn how to sell. Learn how to sell. Then save, right? Learn how to save. If you don't know how to save, you won't get much out of life because the money you save today will save you tomorrow, right? Any money you save today will save you tomorrow. And then you want to invest is the money you save that you can invest with, right? So learn how to what to save. Learn how to save. There are different, different portions of savings and the rest. But what I usually advise people to do is have know the difference between your seed and your fruits, right? Know the difference between your seed and your fruit. So make sure that you don't eat your seeds. Make sure you don't eat your seeds. So your seeds can be your tithe. Your seed can be your investment fund. Your seed can be your marketing budget. You don't eat those ones, right? The other part, your necessities, your all of those things. Saving is a big topic that if you want to talk about, we can talk about for a whole day, right? How to properly manage wealth. But understand that if you don't manage your wealth, you can't get more, right? If you don't manage wealth properly, which I just put as saving, you won't get more because God hates waste. Any level of wealth you cannot manage, you go down to the next one, you go down. Once you can manage the money well, you go to the next one, right? If you can't manage 100K well, you go down to 50K or 10K. If you had 1 million, you can't manage 1 million well, you go down to like 500K or 100K. The better you are at managing wealth, the higher you go. So the test for the next level is proper management, which is savings, right? properly managing your money. And every level you are is a seed to the next level. If you're at 1 million, it's a seed to your 10 million. If you're at 10 million, it's a seed to your 100 million. If you're at 100 million, it's a seed to your 1 billion. Right? So every money you get is a seed to the next level. So you must learn how to save, right? Learn how to save. Number six one was always like sow. Learn how to sow. I already talked about it a bit, you know, when I talked about saving, but then let me just remove it a bit. You sow your seeds. You sow your seeds, and your seed bring about harvest. So if you want continuous abundance, you must learn how to sow. So there's spiritual sowing, there's also physical sowing. So we'll talk about spiritual sowing. We're talking about sowing, tithing, offerings, prophet offerings, and all of that. We're talking about the physical part of sowing. We're talking about investments. We're talking about your marketing budget. We're talking about sowing into your personal, your mind, taking more courses and trainings and workshops. Sowing into your personal brand, buying tools, getting a good phone, or staying in a good environment. All of these things are the areas of sowing, right? So, your seeds come from saving, or your saving must be sown, right? So learn how to sow, and then finally be strategic. Yes, another is a strategy, right? Be very strategic. Life is about strategy. Life is not all so much about energy. Energy is important, but strategy is always better than energy. Strategy is knowing the right things to do, right, with wisdom, right? You want to prepare fried rice, right? There's a strategy or a process for making fried rice, right? So every result has a process. If you follow the process, you get the result, right? So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. If you know 1 plus 1, you always get 2. So most times, life's results are always about processes, and processes are always about strategy. So if um, if I want to get, say, 10,000 students in a class, right, that is a result. But the strategy is, how am I going to get lots of leads, and how am I going to convert these leads to make 10,000? That is the process, right? So understand strategy, that it becomes wealth. Strategy eats energy. Strategy eats energy. When it comes to wealth, strategy would always eat energy. So I think those S we I just made it like that so that it's easier. But anybody who follows this seeks out their strengths, learns a skill along their strengths, studies this skill, becomes a master at this skill, shares to the world to get audience, sells this their skill, you know, saves money to invest and to sow, and then sows your seed so that you get more abundance, and then continue being strategic at every point of life. You see that money comes to you again and again.
Wow. You just broke everything down, 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 down. That's why I said this is deep inside conversation. This is not a message somebody will hear once. Somebody have to come back again, repeat it again and again, so it will person have to go deeper. Just like you repeat reading book, you now turn book like your daily what else you call it? Your daily routine, reading books every day. And now I'm just like I noticed something. People don't there's some things you don't need to read once, use them as manual. Like this book you've been talking about, this millionaire, what's the name of this book again? The first book you showed me. There are some things you read once, you will not be able to get it. But coming back again and again and again, you're able to go with that spirit. You'll be able to understand it. That will be inside you because you're obsessed with learning it and understanding that this thing. So, like I used to watch Ubunking video. There's some video I've watched over 1,000 times. Just one video. I keep repeating it again and again. I remember the time you said, if you want to be best in anything, be the first person to have watched about 250 videos. And I went to do times 10. I watch a video again and again and again, different videos, just because I want to master my skill and understand the business of my skill. That's to gain mastery. You have to do repetition, go to learn again and again for you to understand that thing. So thank you for that. Now you spoke about sewing. People used to say, I collect 30,000 a month. No, let me talk about saving first. I collect 30,000 a month. So I'll be able to save 30,000 and be able to feed myself. I'll be able to save it for like 1 year continuously. I'll be able to save. What can I save out of 30,000? And this, that, that. What do you have to say about people that complain about their money that they earn in the month is too low and they're not able to save? Is there any
Yeah.
formula or way or system you think they can be able to save
So
because of their
saving is
personal
saving
growth?
is yeah, saving is something, as I said, is very important. And then it's a habit that must be learned, right? You you save to get wealthy. You don't wait to get wealthy so that you save. That's one thing most people don't
Mm,
understand. You save
wow.
to get wealthy. So, like I said, the test for more wealth is proper management, and saving is properly managing your money. So, if you are 30,000 naira, you want to get 50,000 naira, you must properly manage the 30,000 naira. So, there are systems, there's a whole system for saving, you know, which I use. And then from Smith and Millennium, we adopted it into my own. So 10% of all my cash goes for tithing, another 10% goes to my financial freedom account, another 10% goes to my offering account, and then I have 20%. Uh, so 10% goes to tithe, 10% to offering, 20 to 30% even goes to my financial freedom account, which is like an investment account, right? And then I have 10%, which is a give account, and then I have 5% for play, 10% for education, 5% for tools, you know, and then around 30% also for necessities like the things, my needs and the rest. So it's a full package, but you must understand that the whole idea behind saving is this part of it is seed. This part of it is fruits. So your seed, your tithing, your offering, your investments into yourself, or investments into marketing. Those are all your seeds. Then this side are your fruits. So your necessities, things you must do with your to live well, your clothing, your housing, all of those things are into your necessities. Your play accounts. Now, those problem, you just go and receive a millennium. I think that's like about 5, 15 or 14 of that talks fully about proper management of money. That's a system I've been using and I've used over and over again. So it's always at your level, whether you have any 10,000 naira, whether you're any. My first monthly income was actually 30,000 naira, just 10k, 12k, and 8,000 naira. That was what I started with. I was doing private lessons for 3 families. Right, I was doing that, but I was also growing in my skill. I was growing in my skill. I was growing in my skill. I was growing my skill. So I offered my skill on Fiverr, on Upwork, and I grew like that. Till I was able to exit private lessons. I'm going to my skill of copywriting, trainings, products, consulting, and every other thing I now do. Right. So at every level, right, if you manage well, you unlock the next door to the next level. The manager, you unlock the next door, and that's the way it goes.
Wow, wow. Thank you for that. This is insightful. Ah, deep inside conversation. Wow, thank you. Now, there are people that complain that I pay my tithe, I pay my offering, I give. I'm a philanthropist, I give everything, but yet, why am I still poor? What's the problem? Where's the problem, sir? Why? People complain that they give a lot and they help people, they pay their tithes that they offer because you mentioned that. But why is it that see they are where they are? They have not moved from where they are to where they want to be. Where's the error
So
coming from?
it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing. It's good to, yeah, like tithing is a spiritual principle, right? Everything works in both worlds. There's a spiritual world, there's a physical world, right? You pay your tithes, your tithes, you don't pay your tithe and go and sleep, right? I've
Mm.
never paid my tithe and gone to sleep and say, oh, because I paid my
God will do
tithes,
it.
you don't, you still have your responsibility to do your own marketing, to do your own sales, to push your skill out there, to be out there. So people always have this 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 mindset of let God take 100% responsibility once I pay my tithe. And you start blaming God and like, oh God, but I pay my tithes and why is nothing happening to me? What have you done? Right? God blesses the work of your hand, not your empty hand.
Mm.
God blesses the work of your hand, not your empty hand. So once you've done, pay your tithe, forget about that. Go back and do your work. Right? The blessings that come with that will come on the work of your hand. And then most people are not patient. You're just starting out and you want to do like 5 million or 10 million or 200 million. And then you pay the time, maybe see out of 20,000 naira, 2,000 naira, right? Out of 100,000 naira, 10,000 naira. You grow like that. You keep growing like that. Right? Just keep growing. Don't, so I pay my tithe. Yes. Go ahead. Continue doing what you're doing. You keep growing like that, keep growing like that, keep growing like that. So that's the thing. The spiritual is also physical aspect. Also, most people don't do the spiritual and go and sleep. And money doesn't fall from heaven. In fact, if money falls from heaven, it will be counterfeit. Right? So money does not fall from heaven. Money comes from the work of your hands.
Mm. Now you talk about people finding their strength and going for skill that is around their strength. And there are people who don't even know their strengths and weaknesses. Some even know their weakness more than their strength. So now this session is more like even discovering oneself, knowing what to do and what not to do. So how do you think one will be able to know their strengths and the skill they should learn in order to crack this code of wealth and be in this level of getting money?
Yeah. So there are like two litmus tests for skill discovery. So there's discovery, there's development, there's deployment. Right. First you discover, second you develop, third you deploy. So the the first rule of discovery is to ask yourself, what am I good at? Right? What are the natural things I am good at? What are the things people compliment me for? What are the things that come to me easily that do not come to others easily? Right? Like I usually say, what you do with ease, others do with please.
Mm.
What you do with
Mm.
ease, others do with please. So take a pen, and write out what are the 10 things people compliment me, people say I do well. What are the 10 things you should know yourself, right? Man, know thyself. So what are the things I do easily? Write it down, right? This is one first step. Number two is what are the things that I complain about, right?
Mm.
What are the things I complain about? Because um, like I usually say, if you get into a room, right, and then you notice that the bulb is bad. If you have an eye for bulbs, that's the first thing you'll notice. If you have an eye for tiles, you'll notice the tiles first, right? It's like watching a movie. People are watching movies from different angles. Somebody's watching it with acting. Somebody's watching it with the, how the camera is positioned. Somebody else is watching it with how the makeup is, right? So the things you easily pick out that are wrong, or the things you easily notice, are also a pointer to the things you can do very well, right? So for me, I always knew that I loved writing. I've been writing from my, SS2,
Mm.
SS1. I've always loved written words. I've always
I can
loved reading.
testify. I have many of your books.
So yeah,
Many.
so I've always loved writing. So year one, year two, I wrote my first book, on GPA calculation and all of that. By year two, I was writing 10 papers, book reviews, you know, I'm doing assignments for people in school. By year three, I was already writing project work,
Mm.
right? I was already writing, doing project work for a lot of, students already, and also um, the things you see easily. Sorry, I have a session by 9, so I'm sorry, somebody person is
Yeah, we're
trying
stopping
to
by now.
reach me. Yeah. So the things you see easily, right? The things you do easily, these are all pointers to where your strengths can be. So
Mm. Wow. Okay, let's wrap up with this. So, how do you think the place of mentorship comes in guiding us for our process of creating or building this wealth? Do one really need to have
yeah,
a mentor?
mentorship is key. Mentorship is like apprenticeship. Mentorship is mind transfer. Mentorship is a shortcut. It's seeing somebody who has done something, and then the person holding your hands to that. So I have a mentor, Mr. Elisha Mama, who has been of great impact to my life. You know, um, I don't know where I would have been, for God and mentors, people who have really helped you. And then sometimes mentorship may not even be direct, it can be indirect. The people whose book you read. I can say Tia Mecca
Yeah.
has mentored me. You know, I have books by Richard Branson. I have books by Brian Tracy. I have books by Bishop Oyedepo. These are people who have mentored me without being with me. You get, so
Mm.
sometimes people say, I must have a mentor. I must have one person that it is good. That's direct mentorship. But if you don't have that, indirect mentorship is also very important, right? So there's a quote that says
Okay.
that
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
when you read a book, you're in the same room with the author.
Mm.
The author is
Yeah.
talking to you. It's like the author is there with you, speaking to you directly. That's what happens when you read a
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
So mentorship is
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah. I'm an art
Sorry, my
student, so in, in in literature, we believe that when you read the book of an author, even if the author is late, you are calling the person back to life. That's our belief. Yeah.
yes, please.
Thank you
Sorry,
so much.
my light is off. They just took my
Okay.
power.
No problem. It's okay like this. It's okay like this. We are good like this. So we just wrap up soon. So, but now before we go, I would like you to tell us how do you think one can identify and find their mentor, who they should choose, and say, this person should be my mentor.
Just if you want to get a mentor, the best way to find a mentor is somebody who has gone through your journey and knows your road. If you're going to Lagos, for example, right? You want to find somebody who has been to Lagos and is willing to show you the route, or the road to Lagos. So you don't want to find somebody who's going to Abuja or somebody who's going to Anambra, right? So find somebody whose life you can see your future in, right? Find somebody
Mm.
whose life, when you look at this person, you're like, this person is living my future, right? So if this person holds my hand, he can take me to this future that he's already living. Do you get? So um, this is how you get it. So look for mentors that people who have gone through your journey and are willing to show you the way, so that you can also get to that
Mm.
destination.
Willing
This
to
is
show
just
you the way.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the last thing is this. This is how we wrap. This is my last question. You talk about mastering sales and marketing. So how do you think is the best way, and how long do you think one can be able to master this skill, and when is the right time for one to set their skill?
Yeah, mastering what? I think yeah, sales or marketing. Yeah,
Yeah, because it says that one is
yeah,
skill that will help you grow and scale up.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, understanding sales and marketing is very important. Yeah, because that's where money comes. The money comes when you sell, right? Money comes when you when you your ability to sell, right, is what makes you abundant in wealth. So we have we have we have people who are good at a skill, but they don't know how to sell, right? So you can be skillfully broke. It's
Mm,
possible to be skillfully broke. You are very good at your skill, but you're still broke. Now, what changes that is when you know how to sell your skill, when you know how to position yourself, when you know how to communicate the value of what you're offering. Because you can have a skill and you're not able to tell somebody why the person should actually employ you or get you on board. So selling is what actually does that, right? Selling is how you are able to communicate, persuade, influence, you know, and then get people to buy what you're offering. So it's you can have a cure, but if you don't tell people that this is the cure, people may not want to get it from you. You get so sales and marketing also follow the same pattern of growth that you need to study it, right? You don't get good at anything you've not studied. So you get books on sales and marketing, sell like crazy. .com secrets are there. Traffic. One thing about life, I've always told people, whatever you don't understand, go and learn it. Like go and study it. That's just one
mm,
of the simple codes of life. If you don't understand
wow.
anything, just go and find a way to learn it. Right. So if you don't know how to sell, go and find books on sales. If you read two, three, four books on sales, you become better. If you watch 5, 10, 15, 20 videos on sales, you become better. Life is easy like that,
You
right?
improve.
Yeah. So um,
Wow.
just
Wow.
know that if you don't know how to sell, poverty will put you in a cell.
Mm, mm, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
You're
You've
welcome.
helped me crack this code. I don't need to do prayer point again, and many too don't need to do prayer point again. Thank you, sir. So before you
You're
leave,
welcome.
what is your final word? So call this a day.
Keep growing, guys. Keep growing. Keep growing. Keep growing. Growth is the foundation of life. Keep growing. Never stop learning. Just keep growing. Move from different levels of growth, but always keep growing. If you keep growing, you'll get results. Results are in growth levels.
Mm,
You're in level one, you get level one results. When you get to level 10, you get level 10 results. When you get to level 100, you get level 100 results. But never ever stop
stop
growing. Never stop
growing.
growing.
Wow. Oh, thank you so much. Prince of copywriting. Thank you, Professor. Thank you. God bless
You're
you, sir.
welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Bye. We've come to an end for this session. Thank you. God bless you. Bye. I'll see you inside. Thank you. Wow. I hope you enjoyed that video. This is amazing. I'm happy to have host the Prince of Copywriting, Professor of Copywriting, Emmanuel Akpe. He is the king of our time. Wow. Share this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel, invite your friends to watch this video. Okay? I might not even leave it up there. But now that you see there, watch this video, like, so that YouTube will get to show this video to more people. Thank you. God bless you. I love you. Goodbye. I am the success soldier. I'm just happy. Thank you. I love you guys.